at it, not because I came to Melaleuca with any specific leadership skill, but it's my favorite part of what we do, and I think it's really important. I think that leadership can change the world. And let me tell you this, I joined Melaleuca 7.5 years ago, and I was not a leader. I did not have the skills. I did not have the confidence. And so if you're watching this today, please don't unplug thinking that this training is not for you. It is. Leadership is a growth experience. Leadership is a process. And I will tell you, I may not have had the skills 7.5 years ago, but what I did have was Melaleuca. I knew the moment I watched an overview, the moment I saw this with my own eyes, I knew what I had my hands on. I knew that it was something that people needed to hear about. And so my first job and my first task for you is to simply think about every single person that needs to hear about this amazing store. That's how you start. That's how leadership starts. So first things first, one assumption that happens with us as leaders is we think that leadership starts after a strategy session. We think that leadership starts once somebody clicks category 2 or 3. We think that leadership is something down the road, once we're building a team. But it doesn't. Leadership starts with the approach. It starts from the very beginning. How are you approaching your friends and family, your acquaintances, your contact list? How are you approaching them about Melaleuca? Are you asking them to take a look at what it is that you do for a living? Are you showing them the full picture, or are you out there just selling soap? Jeff Miller, presidential director, gave me some of the best advice 2 years ago, and it's absolutely changed my business. He said, Erin, your job is not to sell laundry detergent. It's so much more than that. Are you a good partner or not? And I would challenge you to ask yourself these questions. He said, Erin, are you a good partner or not? Do you do what you say you're going to do? Are you honest? And he said, then go ask people to partner with you. Go make the ask. And I did, okay? So duplication starts at the very beginning. It starts with the approach. A second question that I want to ask you today is, what is the one thing that you could do in your business every single day that would make the most difference? I'm going to give you a hint. It's the same thing I just told you. It's the business approach. The one thing that you could do more of that will be a catalyst to getting you to director 3, to senior director, to executive director. The one thing is the approach. So for the last 2 years, I focused on business approaches. I focused on offering those partnerships. Ashley Olive, corporate director 5, uses the term lifeboat. And that lifeboat is an offer to save somebody. I truly think that Melaleuca is a place where we can save people. I know that when I look people in the eye and tell them, if you follow me, if you believe in me, if you do what I teach you to do, we can change your whole life. That's what a lifeboat is. That is where leadership starts. It starts from the very beginning. Okay, so what's next? It's the overview. You think that's too simple, but I promise you it's not. Melaleuca builds the critical activities so that we have steps to success that we can follow. And critical activity number 3 is the overview. My advice to you is do a full one. Show them everything. Show them what it is that you actually have your hands on. Show them who Melaleuca is. Talk to your potential customers about the mission statement of Melaleuca. Talk about where we're going. Talk about why you decided to build a business here. Don't skip any parts. We definitely want to show them the store. We definitely want to show them our beautiful products, but we have to show them every single piece so that they can make a decision as to whether they're going to be category 1, category 2, or maybe category 3. What I'm not telling you to do is sell a money deal, okay? We're not out selling compensation plans. We're not blasting big, fat, fancy checks. We're talking about a place that people can partner with, a place that people can grow old with, a place that people can retire at. That's what a full overview is. Here's what I'll say. You can't assume that people know that Melaleuca is a business or that Melaleuca is a place that they could partner with. A lot of people just think we sell cleaning products or just think we sell amazing lotion, but we're so much more than that. We also can't assume that they don't need this. I can't tell you how many doctors and nurses and teachers and high-level professionals and CEOs have come to Melaleuca to build a business, to build their retirement, to build a backup plan, to pay off debt. We can't assume that people aren't going through challenges. We're here to enhance the lives of those we touch by helping people reach their goals, and we can't leave anybody out. What I know is that in 2017, I may not have been somebody that you would have approached. From the outside in, everything looked fine. I had a big smile on my face. I was working hard. It didn't look like I needed this business, but you guys, I did. My husband and I were drowning in debt. We had accrued a ton of tax debt. We had huge medical bills for my baby boy, and we stressed every single day. He was going back to the police department. I was looking at going back to corporate America. I cried myself to sleep every single night. And if it wasn't for that full overview, if somebody had just tried to sell me laundry detergent, I wouldn't be here today. But I watched the who, the what, the how. I saw this company for what it was, and I never looked back. Please take my advice and give a full overview. It will make all the difference in the world. So I gave you 2 important tasks: send the approach and do the full overview. And what I'm going to assume is that you feel the same way that I did when I realized that the one thing that would move me forward in my business the most was the one thing that I didn't want to do. It's the one thing that scared me the most. It was my kryptonite. But what I promise you is that this will get easier with practice. Think about it. What you do repeatedly over time almost becomes a habit. So if you're terrified today, or maybe you're not terrified, maybe you're just uncomfortable, this will get easier. You will get better at it. Your confidence will increase, your posture will increase, and it will absolutely pay off in your business. Let me share an example. So Melaleuca critical activity number 6 is always participate in a fast track. And my group decided to take that very seriously this year, and we created our own fast track. A core group of us decided that we wanted to go to the next level in our business. And what was the one thing that we needed to keep track of was business approaches. Stacy, Christina, Alyssa, Shay, Cynthia, a whole crew of us got together and we decided it's time. 5 days a week, we met for 30 minutes, not super long. And what did we report? We reported business approaches. We made a pact that every single day, 5 days a week, we were going to go out and send the lifeboats, even if we were uncomfortable, even if people didn't respond, even if we didn't have a single ounce of success, we were committing to the process. And so we did that for the month of May. We did that for the month of June. We actually continued all the way through September. And what I will tell you is that those first few approaches were hard. They were awkward. Some of them didn't even get responses. And it took about a month for people to really get their groove. But all of a sudden, we started having successful meetings. We started sharing about coffee dates and overviews and group overviews. Momentum started building. My leaders started to gain more confidence and more posture. Those calls got a lot more fun. Fast forward, and Stacy, who started that fast track accountability group as a director 3, who hated doing overviews, who hated doing business approaches, she is a director 9 on the cusp of senior director, and she is only getting started. Christina, same story. She was a director 3, but was struggling with directors. Developing leadership tends to be the kryptonite, but she committed to those approaches and she started doing those full overviews. And today she is a director 5, almost director 6, on her way to senior director. I could go on and on, story after story. Success is always delayed. We clap for the people who worked last year, and that's going to happen to you too. But these approaches will get easier. You will get better at them. Your overviews will become much more smooth. And what you'll create is a sense of momentum that you can't get without doing it first. My biggest piece of advice is just do it scared. Generally, the scariest things are the most worthwhile, and that is the case here too. Here's what I know. Leadership is a huge blessing, but it's an even bigger responsibility. When you go out into the world and offer those partnerships, when you go out and offer those lifeboats, you also have to be a good partner. People follow leaders they trust. You have to develop that trust. You have to do what you say you're going to do. Critical activity number 7 is lead by example. As a leader, you gotta do that. You have to cast vision. I use this phrase a lot. If you do this, you will get this. You have to show people what is possible. You have to keep your promises, and you have to do this again and again and again and again. Remember, Jeff Miller gave me this piece of advice, and I'm going to give it to you as well. Offer the partnership. Go send the lifeboats. Go share this with as many people as you can get your hands on. And then more important than anything else, be a good partner. I've seen Melaleuca change so many people's lives. And what I know is that if you do these things, if you follow this path and do it again, again, and again, this will change your life.